Hello, happy humans. As a parent, if you've ever gone from, oh, I've got this, to wow, that did not go how I planned with your kids, all in the span of 5 minutes, then you're in the right place. For the over 25 years working with positive parenting principles, I've supported families in moving from crappy parenting to happy parenting. Not perfect, not polished, just calmer, clearer, and far more connected. Because isn't connection what we're really after? Let's talk. I'm Dr. Joshi, a psychologist. And today, I want to share the 5 biggest breakthroughs, the 5 secrets that change everything about the parenting experience. And as we go, listen for the fascinating facts, the science-backed reasons these shifts actually help parents and children feel better. Secret number 1. Happy parenting starts with the parent, not with the child. This is the secret that most parents are never taught. Happy parenting does not begin when your child becomes calmer, easier, or more cooperative. No, not at all. Actually, it begins when you become more aware of who? Yourself. Most parenting stress isn't caused by children. It's caused by parents' own self-imposed pressure, expectations, and unconscious emotional reactions. And these reactions usually get triggered in very specific moments with our kids. Like feeling disrespected by your child, out of control in the moment, judged as a parent, or suddenly flooded with fear or frustration when your child pushes all your buttons. Once those reactions take over, we often respond on autopilot, saying or doing things we later wish we had handled differently. This is where the shift happens. When you slow down and when you notice what's happening inside of you before reacting, everything about the interaction, it shifts. You stop parenting on autopilot and you start parenting with presence. And here's where science really supports this. And most parents don't know this. Fascinating fact number 1. A child's nervous system cannot calm itself until the parent's nervous system does first. Did you know that? This means no amount of logic or consequences or explaining will work if you, the parent, are overwhelmed or upset. When you calm yourself, your child actually feels safer automatically. Neuroscience shows that children regulate their emotions through co-regulation. Their nervous system, it syncs up with the nervous system of the parent or the caregiver. So they're in sync. A parent's calm becomes the very signal that tells the child's body that it's safe to settle. That's why working on yourself, it's not selfish at all. Working on yourself first. It's how you help your child feel safe enough to settle. Secret number 2, are you ready? Your child is not an extension of you. One of the most freeing insights in positive parenting is this. Your child did not come here on this earth to fulfill your expectations, to heal your past, or to make you feel successful as a parent. Your child is a separate human being with their own temperament, their own nervous system, and their own inner world. And when parents stop parenting their expectations and start parenting the actual child in front of them, guess what happens? The resistance, it softens. And this next piece is deeply, deeply important for long-term emotional health. Fascinating fact number 2. Children who feel emotionally owned by their parents are more anxious and less motivated. Even to the outside world if they appear successful. Inside they're very anxious. But children who feel psychologically separate from their parents, they develop a stronger sense of self-trust, of confidence, resilience, and inner motivation. And research on child development shows that autonomy is a core psychological need for children. When parents trust children to be themselves, motivation grows for that child from the inside out. And when parents restrict autonomy in their children, what happens? Anxiety rises and motivation becomes driven by fear or approval. So letting go of control does not weaken children. It helps them grow into themselves. Ready for secret number 3? Connection is more powerful than control. Many parents rely on control because they believe it creates order. But control often creates fear, resistance, or shutdown. And positive parenting actually teaches something very different. It teaches that connection, what does it create? Cooperation. And when a child feels emotionally safe and they feel understood, they are far more open to guidance, to limits, and learning. This doesn't mean that permissive parenting with very few limits, little guidance, more just like a friendship, it doesn't mean that you connect. It means that you connect first and you lead second. It doesn't mean you're being a permissive parent. So when parenting feels like a battle, connection has usually been skipped. Here's the brain-based reason that matters so much. Fascinating fact number 3. When a child feels emotionally threatened by a parent, the part of the child's brain responsible for learning, for listening, it goes temporarily offline. That's shocking, isn't it? Control triggers the survival mode in children, and connection brings the child's brain back online. They're open, they're ready to learn. Brain imaging research shows that fear, it shuts down a child's prefrontal cortex, the part that's responsible for reasoning, for impulse, for control, and for learning. When a child feels safe and connected with a parent, this system comes back online, making cooperation possible again. So the calmer and more connected you are as a parent, the more your child can calm down and actually hear you. So before I go on, I want you to stay with me until the last one. Wait to hear this. The final secret is something most parents have never been told. Even parents who've read the books and who've tried to do everything right, they've done all the things. Once you understand this, you won't see parenting the same way again. Just wait. Secret number 4. Emotions are not the enemy. No, not at all. This is where many parents go wrong and they get deeply confused about this. Most parents aren't trying to stop their child's behavior. They're trying to stop their child's emotions. And that's not where it's at. Emotions like anger or sadness, fear, anxiety, frustration. A meltdown is not an emotion. A meltdown is actually the behavior, right? That's driven by those emotions. Why does it happen? Because those emotions feel too big for the child to handle alone. So they have a meltdown. Here's the distinction that every parent needs to know and needs to understand. Emotions are never wrong. Behavior can certainly be wrong, but the emotion driving it is not, and you have to see the difference. A child is not bad for feeling angry, for feeling sad. That's normal. We all feel that. They struggle because they don't yet know how to regulate those feelings. And this is where nurturing and attunement really matter. When parents slow down and name the emotion of the child, like, you were really angry, or, oh, that was really disappointing, wasn't it? Or, oh, that felt scary. How does the child feel? They feel seen, not dismissed by their very own parents. You can validate the feeling and hold a boundary around the bad behavior. And your job as a parent is to do that. It's not to erase your child's emotions. It's to nurture them through those emotions. So the emotional regulation can develop over time, and the child can do it on their own eventually. That's part of growing up and being an emotionally mature adult. This next part surprises a lot of parents. Are you ready for the fascinating fact number 4? An emotion in a child that is fully felt and emotionally validated usually only lasts 90 seconds or less in the child's body. So it's not the emotion that lingers. It's a child feeling unseen, unheard, or feeling wrong for having an emotion. Neuroscience shows that emotions move through a child's nervous system in very brief waves. It's the invalidation, the fear, or the shame that keeps them looping in those same emotions for years. When parents attune and validate emotion, the child's nervous system, it just naturally settles down and they're calm. So when you validate your child's feelings, even while setting limits and boundaries on their behavior, you often see less emotional intensity, not more. Okay, secret number 5. Repair is more important than being right. This is a secret most parents truly do not understand. Happy parenting is not about saying the perfect thing or handling every moment correctly. It's not about that at all. We're human, right? It's about what happens after things go wrong. Repair simply means coming back after a hard moment, naming what happened, as the parent taking responsibility for your part of it, for what you did, and reconnecting with your child once everything's calmer. Many parents think that authority comes from being right, but in positive parenting, authority comes from repairing the relationship with your child. When you repair, what do you think you teach your child? You teach them that relationships can survive mistakes, that being accountable as the parent, it matters, that love doesn't disappear. It doesn't disappear when things go wrong. Love is always there between you and your child. And this final fact changes how most parents think about mistakes. Here's fascinating fact number 5. Children feel more secure, not less, in relationships where their parents make mistakes, where they happen, and where they repair them. And they feel safer than in relationships where nothing ever goes wrong, where everything's smooth. So attachment research shows that a secure parent-child bond, they're built through rupture and repair, not through perfection. Repair teaches children that connection with a parent is stable even when the emotions are running high and low and all that the connection's stable. This is the piece most people miss. I'll see you next time. I'm Dr. Joshi.